Hey, what's up neighbors, aaFlare here, bringing you another Destiny video. In today's video, I'm going to show you one of the new mods, or I guess it's not new, but it's one of the artifact mods that was introduced this season. So I guess it's kind of new because we did have the Void version of this, I think 2 seasons ago. But now we have an Arc version, and what makes it so much better is that it's Arc, pretty much, at least for hunters. We're focusing on hunters here. So Volatile Conduction, basically what it does is it grants bonus damage to your Arc super while you cast it critically wounded. So you have to be in the red whenever you cast it, and it lasts until the super is done. And basically what it does is it provides you with a 30% damage increase on your super, which is pretty good. But if you start pairing it with a bunch of stuff is when it gets a little nutty. So just to show you how it works is whenever I'm going to take some damage here. Here we go, we're in the red, and now I proc the super, and as you can see it says Volatile Conduction, and I basically just get bonus damage because of that. So you get a base 30% damage just because you casted it while critically wounded, which is pretty easy to do. You could either just shoot yourself with ricochet rounds or like mountaintop explosion without killing yourself, of course, or just take damage from ads or the boss that you're about to damage, and you can go into the red. Now looking at some damage numbers for the super, actually starting off we're going to look at how to use the super properly for those who don't know. If you land 2 light attacks and then a heavy attacks like in a row, you will pull off the combo that results in the most damage possible for the super. So that's what we're going to be basing our optimal damage and DPS off of, is using this combo. Now for your base super, you can pull off 4 of these combos within the length of your super, and it lasts 9 seconds to pull this off, and it results in 143,196 damage at 15,910 DPS. Now with the Volatile Conduction mod, you're looking at, like I said, a 30% damage increase, which is 187,580 total damage, and that's 20,842 DPS. So you can see a noticeable bump there in terms of the damage. However, it's when we combine it with Raid Influx. So whenever you use Raid Influx, every attack you do will increase the duration of your super as well as the damage you are doing. Now this scales up to a 45% damage increase and will allow you to pull off 1 additional combo and 2 extra light attacks on your super. And it makes the duration of your super last 12 seconds. So the total damage you're pulling off with this now is 281,629 damage, which results in 23,469, which you'll see that it's a smaller bump in DPS only because the length of the actual super is longer. So you're doing more damage but over a slightly longer time, so that's why the DPS is not as big of a bump from the base to the volatile as it is from volatile to Raid Influx times 3. Now with Raid Influx times 3 and Volatile Conduction together is when you start to see a very large bump in damage. So you're looking at pretty much about a 90% damage increase, which results in 359,313 total damage, which allows you to do 29,943 damage per second, which is above what Xenophage does for damage, and that's using it optimally with a dodge as a reload to insta reload it, and that's 2 magazines of it. But that's a lot. That's good DPS. Okay, that's a lot of damage and good DPS, but we can bump this up even further. Now on the top skill tree of Arcstrider, there's a little perk called Lethal Current that whenever you dodge, it provides extra damage to your super, and it's basically just free damage at no cost of your DPS really. All it does is add 1 additional second to your super duration, just because the dodge doesn't consume super energy whenever you use it, so it just extends your duration just slightly longer, but you can still pull off the same amount of attacks, which results in 453,634 total damage, which is 34,895 DPS. So now we're getting to a very high level of damage, but we can bump it up even further by using a little weapon called Tractor Cannon. Now, Tractor Cannon, whenever you shoot an enemy with it, it provides a 30% damage increase for 10 seconds. Now, taking advantage of this, we can use it for almost the entire duration of the super. Since the super lasts 13 seconds, that's not very much that we're missing from the, that we're missing out of for the damage boost. It lets us pull off 4 full combos with the damage boost, which is really good. This bumps our damage up to 551,777 total damage, which is 42,444 DPS. Now that's a lot of damage. 500,000 total damage for your super is a lot of damage, but guess what? You can bump it up even more. However, I don't really have the damage numbers for this since I couldn't test it to see if it really does stack and how much of an extra damage increase you'd get. But if you were to combine it with something like Weapons of Light or the Well of Radiance, you would get even more damage. So a 20 to 30% increase, or an additional 20 to 30% increase in damage on top of what you're already doing. And basically you'd be looking at 700k total damage, about that, if my math is right in my head that I'm just doing off the top of my head right now. But you're getting almost to the 1 million damage mark, which is just actually insane. As well as if the brawler modifier is active, then you're just going to be doing ridiculous amounts of damage and just kind of insta-killing anything and everything with this. Now, the only disadvantage to this is that it is Arcstrider, so it has to be an enemy that's on the ground that you can get in range of, as well as sometimes you can get pushed back by the boss's slam attack. However, you can still take full advantage of this pretty much on a lot of bosses, like the Prophecy Dungeon, you can take advantage of it. Pit of Heresy, you can take advantage of it. A lot of the strikes, you can take advantage of this. Some raid bosses, you could take advantage of it as well. It's still a very viable damage option, and it outclasses a lot of heavy weapons. So yeah, guys, be sure to give this mod a try. It's really great. I'm sure you could probably pull some crazy damage numbers off with Chaos Reach as well, so I'm probably going to try to test that out as well. Maybe Missile Titan can be decent, but I doubt it since it's not really that great for damage. But Chaos Reach is probably something to look into for a DPS super, but I'm not too sure because a lot of people use Chaos Reach, and I think it's for a reason. But if you enjoyed, be sure to leave a like and subscribe for future content. Thanks so much for watching. Peace.